Let us start lesson number 5, electrochemistry. Okay, so let us see first what is mean by electrochemistry, or what is the definition of electrochemistry. So see, electrochemistry is the area of chemistry which is concerned with interconversion of chemical and electrical energy. Understand? So see the word electrochemistry. It has both the concepts, means electrical and chemical. Okay, so in electrochemistry we are going to study how the interconvergence between chemical energy and electrical energy takes place. We have studied in previous classes there are different forms of energy, right? Like chemical energy, then kinetic energy, potential energy, electrical energy, mechanical energy. These are the different forms of energy, and all these forms are interconvertible, right? We have studied the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another form, right? That means all the forms of energy are interconvertible. Okay, so here we are going to study how these two forms of energy, that is chemical energy and electrical energy, are interconverted. Okay, so this is the branch of chemistry. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the interconversion of chemical and electrical energy. Okay, now, it also deals with the resistance and conductance of aqueous electrolytic solution. Okay, resistance and conductance of electrolytic solutions. What are electrolytic solutions? You have studied in standard 11. Okay, electrolytic solutions are the solutions in which conduction of electricity takes place. They are called as electrolytic solutions. Okay, so the resistance and conductance of this aqueous electrolytic solution also we are going to study in this electrochemistry. Okay, now let us see some basic concepts about this electrochemistry. See next point, electrochemical cell. Okay, so before studying actually what is electrochemical cell, let us see first what is meant by redox reaction. In last standard 11th standard you have studied redox reactions, right? What are redox reactions? When reduction and oxidation takes place simultaneously, right? Reduction and oxidation is taking place simultaneously, then that reaction is called as redox reaction. Okay, now reduction means what? Gain of electron, right? And oxidation means what? Loss of electron. So the process of gain of electron and loss of electron is taking place simultaneously in this redox reaction. Okay, and these redox reactions are the basis of this electrochemistry. Understood? Redox reactions are the basis of the electrochemical reaction, or we can say electrochemistry. Okay, and these electrochemical processes or these redox reactions are carried out in a cell, and that cell is called as electrochemical cell. Understood? Electrochemical processes are carried out in an electrochemical cell. Okay, so in this lesson electrochemistry we are going to study the designs and operations of electrochemical cells also. Okay, how this what is the construction of these electrochemical cells, how they work. Okay, what is the operation, what kind of redox reaction takes place in these electrochemical cells, that also we are going to study in this lesson. Okay, now let us see first what is mean by electric conduction. So electric conduction means what? Conduction means what? Transfer. Okay, and electric conductance means what? Transfer of electric current. Okay, so electric conduction means what? Transfer of electric current. Okay, and the substances which transfers the electric current or the flow of electricity occurs through these substances, then those substances are called as conductors. You know, good conductors, bad conductors, electrical conductors, we have studied these concepts. Okay, good conductors means what? The substances through which electricity passes are called as good conductors of electricity, and bad conductors opposite of that. Okay, so conduction means what? Transfer of charge. Okay, conduction means what? Transfer of charge or electricity. And conductors means what? The substances which help electricity to flow or to transfer. Okay, a charge transfer or flow of electricity occurs through substances which are called as conductors. Understand? Now, there are two types of conductors, okay, which give rise to two types of conductions. Understand? So there are basically two types of conductions of electricity. Conduction of electricity takes place in two ways or in two types, okay. And first type is metallic conduction, okay. First type is metallic conduction, and another is electrolytic, which is also called as ionic, okay. Electrolytic conduction or ionic conduction. And first type is metallic conduction. Now let us see what is mean by metallic conduction and what is mean by electrolytic conduction. So see first metallic conduction, okay. Now see what is mean by metallic conduction. See, electrical conduction through metals involve direct flow of electron from one point to another point, and that is called as metallic conduction, okay. So in case of metallic conduction, there is direct flow of electron only directly flow from one place to another place. Understand? So this is also called as electronic conductors, okay, or electronic conduction. Metallic conduction is also called as electronic conductions. Why it is called as electronic conductions? Because in this case or in this type, there is direct flow of electron from one point to another point, okay. Now see how this takes place. You know, metal atom, suppose we have a metal atom, okay, and in this metal atom, this outermost electrons which present in outermost orbital, okay, they are free to move from one point to another point, okay. Outermost electron are free to move from one point to another point, and the electron in conduction bond, and these free electrons form conduction bond, okay, and these conduction bond are free to move, and when we apply electrical potential, this electron conducts the electricity. In this way, electronic conduction takes place, okay. So in electronic conduction, electrons are directly involved. Direct flow of electron is there, okay. Now see what is mean by electrolytic or ionic conduction. See, electrolytic conduction involves conduction of electric current by movement of ions. Okay. So here movement of ions takes place. Movement of ions. Now which ions? So the ions are cations and anions. Okay. You know, cations carry positive charge, anions carry negative charge. So in case of electrolytic or ionic conduction, the movement of ions takes place. Cations and anions move from one place to another place or one point to another point. And in this way, the charge transfer in electrolytic or ionic conduction takes place with the help of ions. Okay. Now see the substances such as ionic salts. Okay. Ionic salts means like NaCl, sodium chloride is ionic salt. Okay. The salt or the compound which is made up of ionic bond, okay, are called as ionic compounds. So NaCl is ionic salt. Then strong or weak acids and bases. Okay. Strong and weak acids and bases. So these are electrolytes. Okay, what is mean by electrolyte? I have told you, electrolytes are the substances which conduct the electricity in aqueous state or in molten state. Okay, so whenever we add this ionic salts, acids or bases in water, okay, whenever we suppose example you take NaCl when we dissolve in water, what happen? NaCl dissociates into ions. Okay, so when we add NaCl in water, Na plus these are cations and Cl minus are anions. So NaCl dissociates into ions, cations and anions. Okay, and these ions conduct the electricity. Okay, so here conduction of electricity takes place with the help of ions, or we can say here conduction of electricity takes place with the help of matter. Understand? And here conduction takes place in the form of direct flow of electron. So here direct flow of electron is there, and here movement of cations and anions is involved. Okay, so this is metallic conduction or electronic conduction, and this is electrolytic or ionic conduction. Here electrons are involved, that's why it is called as electronic, and here ions are involved, that's why it is called as ionic conduction. Okay, so these are the two types of conductions. These are two types of electric conductions. Okay, now let us see next point. Now you know what is mean by electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte are the substances which conduct the electricity in aqueous or molten state. Okay, now exactly opposite is non-electrolyte. Okay, so non-electrolyte are the substances which do not conduct the electricity. Okay, or we can say electrolyte are the substances which dissociate in their aqueous solution. Okay, and non-electrolyte, when they dissociate in aqueous solution, that means cations and anions are available for the conduction of electricity, right? But non-electrolyte, they do not dissociate in aqueous solution. When we add these non-electrolytic substances in water, they don't dissociate, they don't form cations and anions. Okay, so obviously ions are not available for the conduction of electricity, so they do not conduct electricity. Understand? Electrolyte conduct the electricity and electrolyte do not conduct the electricity. Now, these electrolytes are of two types again. Okay, these are strong electrolytes. Okay, strong electrolytes, and some are weak electrolytes. Okay, so strong electrolytes are the substances. Okay, strong electrolyte are the substances which exhibit high conductivities. Understand? They show or they exhibit high conductivity. Okay, so these strong acids and bases are strong electrolyte. Okay, examples are strong acids and bases are strong electrolyte. When we dissolve these substances such as strong acid and strong bases, they dissociate completely. Complete dissociation takes place. Okay, so cations and anions are available at large extent for the conduction of electricity, and that's why they are called as strong electrolyte. Complete dissociation, strong electrolyte. Okay, and incomplete dissociation or no dissociation means we can say weak electrolyte. Okay, so examples of weak electrolyte are weak acids and bases. Okay, so when these weak acids and bases are dissolved in water, they do not dissociate completely, or we can say they dissociate at very small extent. Okay, at very small extent, and therefore less number of ions are available for the conduction of electricity, and that's why weak electrolyte shows or exhibit weak conduction or weak conductivity. That's why they are called as weak electrolyte. Okay, so these were some important terms: electrolyte, non-electrolyte, strong electrolyte, and weak electrolyte. Okay, now let us see electrical conductance of solution. So let us see electrical conductance of a solution. Okay, you have studied Ohm's law. So according to Ohm's law, electrical conductance, okay, electrical conductance is directly proportional to the electric potential divided by electric current. Okay, now electrical resistance of a conductor is expressed by letter, or it is denoted by symbol R, capital R. Okay, so electrical resistance R is directly proportional to electric potential. Okay, so electric potential is represented by letter V divided by electric current by I. Okay, so this is Ohm's law. R is directly proportional to V by I, or V divided by I, or we can say resistance is directly proportional to electric potential and resistance is inversely proportional to electric current. Okay, now SI unit of potential, okay, SI unit of this potential is volt. Okay, and SI unit of this current is ampere. Okay, so SI unit of electric potential is volt, and SI unit of this current, that is I, is ampere, which is denoted by symbol A. Okay, so the unit of resistance is electrical conductance is R is omega. Okay, unit of electrical resistance is represented by symbol omega. You can see this symbol. Okay, and omega is equal to volt per ampere or volt ampere inverse. Okay, you can see electrical potential divided by electric current, and unit of electric potential is volt and unit of electric current is ampere A, and that's why omega is equal to volt divided by A, that means volt per ampere, or we can say volt ampere inverse. Okay, so this is the unit of electrical resistance R. Understand? Now let us see what is meant by electrical conductance, which is denoted by symbol G. So see electrical conductance, which is denoted by symbol or letter capital G, and this electrical conductance G of any solution is reciprocal of resistance. Okay, so conductance is reciprocal of resistance means what? Reciprocal of resistance, R is resistance, and reciprocal of R means 1 upon R. Okay, so G is equal to 1 upon R, and SI unit of G is SI unit of G means electrical conductance is Siemens, Siemens, Siemens. Okay, so this is the SI unit of conductance, electrical conductance, and it is denoted by letter capital S. Okay, which is equal to per ohm or ohm inverse. So what we can write? S is equal to ohm inverse. Understand? But we know ohm or omega, right? Omega is equal to volt ampere inverse, right? So when S is equal to omega inverse, that means S is equal to ampere volt inverse. Understand? Now see, this S is equal to AV inverse, and this AV inverse is equal to CV inverse S inverse, means C is for coulomb. Okay, capital C is used for coulombs, COU. Okay, coulombs. So what we can say here, Siemens is equal to ampere per volt, which is equal to coulomb per volt per second. Okay, now see next, electrical resistance R. Okay, electrical resistance R of a conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to the cross sectional area. Okay, so L is for length and A is for cross sectional area. So what we can say, R is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to A. A is area. So what we can say, R is equal to length upon A. Okay, and here this is the symbol of proportionality constant. Okay, and proportionality constant, it is resistance of conductor of unit length and unit cross sectional area. Okay, so this was about resistance and electrical conductance. Okay, now see next,